Brian Knight says, I am interested in this year's CW crossover episodes, but I have only watched the first season of Supergirl, half of season 2, and none of Flash or Arrow. Can I watch this crossover without watching previous shows or seasons of Supergirl, Flash, or Arrow, or any other crossover franchise? I don't know, John, what do you think?
Yeah, here's the interesting thing. Because I have watched all the, like right from Arrow season 1, I've watched this whole Arrowverse thing that they've had. Some of it is great, some of it sucks, but I mean, hey, that's life, right? And so I've always watched all of them, and then when they've done their crossovers, I have the benefit of knowing the previous stuff.
Right.
But you know what? When you look back at Crisis on Earth X, really? I don't think you need to have a background in watching this CD. Again, we're going back just to Crisis on Earth X, which was last year's crossover stuff. I think it's one of those scenarios where, and we say this about a bunch of stuff, like with Mary Poppins. I think even if you've never seen the original Mary Poppins, which shame on you if you haven't seen the original Mary Poppins, but if you haven't, I think you'd be able to walk into this new Mary Poppins and completely understand what's going on. It would benefit probably and give you a little bit of a deeper appreciation if you had watched the previous one, but I don't think it's a prerequisite. And as I look back to Crisis on Earth X, if I'm remembering it correctly, I go, you know what? Yeah, you probably could have walked in cold on that. Because here's the thing. When you have an event like this on television, not only are you doing it for your existing fan base, you use these big events and these crossovers to try to get some attention from maybe people who haven't watched it before. So you have to make sure you do it in such a way that they're not going to feel lost the moment they start watching it, right? So I have a feeling that's what it's going to be. I have a feeling you're going to be to come in, watch it totally cold. But if you are watching the shows, you get a little bit of a deeper appreciation, but I think you'll be fine. How do you think they're going to handle that?
Well, I kind of have a theory about this kind of thing. And it's kind of my pop culture character theory, I guess. I think that our society, if you live in our society, and we all do, we have a working knowledge of these characters simply through osmosis.
That's true.
You understand who Flash is, whether you watched it as a kid in some animated series. You know who Supergirl is. You have enough understanding of these characters just by growing up and living in our culture to know what kind of characters they are. It's kind of like I pick up comic books I've never read before, like issue 178. Sometimes I'll pick up a comic that I've never read, but I know enough about how these characters work, the archetypes that are being portrayed, that you get it. Like nothing's ever going to stop me. I'm not going to ever go, well, there's 4 seasons of this show. I have to go back to the beginning. If I watch an episode from the 4th season and it's good, I'm like, I want to find out more about this character. Because I'll know, we all know storytelling. There's only, 7 stories in the world? Never let that prevent you from watching something like this kind of an event. Because, look, if it's good, look at how much great stuff you get to go back and watch.
I love what you said there, knowledge by osmosis. Because there are, as completely odd as it is to conceive, there are people out there who've never seen Star Wars.
Right.
But they know who Darth Vader is. Yeah. And they know Darth Vader is Luke's father. And yet they've never seen the thing, right?
Right.
So yeah, I'm completely on board with you. I think you'll be able to walk in and watch this. Now, we haven't seen Elseworld yet. The most recent episode of Supergirl gave us our first preview of Elseworld. It starts with Earth 90 and the original Flash, the original guy who played, what's his name again? Ship.
John Wesley Shipp.
John Wesley Shipp. Just basically about to die. Go, oh, why are you doing this? And all these dead superheroes around. It's like, ooh, it's called Earth 90. So, but I think you're going to be able to walk right in and you'll be just fine. Hopefully they don't prove me wrong. All right, let's move on now to the...